Welcome back to our Business Partner tutorial series. In this tutorial we'll be looking at setting up and managing materials. From the dashboard we'll go to Cabinet Setup, we'll go to Materials, and here as always we are presented with a list view, and this list view currently is sorted by type. As you can see, this one's yellow and all the other ones are white. If we'd like to sort this list view by another column, we can click on that column, and you see now that it's sorted by purpose. We could sort by material name, we could sort by vendor, we could sort by type. So let's go into a fairly common material here, a 1/4 inch back material, and just kind of cover the basics of how this section works. The first thing we'll look at here is this rules for entering materials. And these are active rules. They actually change depending on what type of material you're on at the time, and so you should read through these as you're adding door materials or cabinet materials, edge banding, any of those type materials. You want to read through these rules, make sure you're kind of following those rules to get everything correct. Obviously we have very common material nomenclature here. We have our name, our type, our purpose, and our description. And as always with this version of Business Partner, we have the internal notes, which allows you to put costing notes that would remind you how you priced the material, if there was any addition or subtraction or multiplication required to come up with the number you're using here. Then we have a vendor field, and then finished or unfinished. And you need to be very clear on what's happening here with this finished and unfinished. Finished means that you're going to actually apply a finish to this product. You're going to take it to your finish room and you're going to apply a finish. So unfinished could also be a finished product. You're not going to apply a finish to a melamine, but it is a finished product. But here it would be listed as unfinished. The one that is obvious is if you were going to build your cabinets from raw material and have the painters finish the house and the cabinets, and you'd list that as unfinished. But what is not obvious to everyone is that a pre-finished plywood or a melamine type material would be listed as unfinished in this area. We're not going to apply finished labor to that product. The math works very similar to other areas we've looked at. We have our material cost from our vendor, and then we would have a discount if we have one, and then we have a calculated cost. And this, assuming you're going to outsource this material. Well, this particular material is for the interior of the cabinet, so you're not going to outsource a material that is part of your production process. So, but we have this here so that you can use it with doors and drawers. So it's pretty easy to just ignore it. If you started a new material, and I'll do that right now, so we'll just start a new material and we'll call it a back. And we're going to say that it's a veneer type product, and we'll give it a name of test, and it's going to be active, and we're going to add this material, and we have no costs down here. So since this is not an outsourced product, let's just enter a cost here for this material and say we have a 10% waste factor, and so we have a cost of 55 cents. Just to be safe, just in case I accidentally choose the wrong toggle at material entry screen, I'd enter that 55 cents there with a 0 cost, so that it would price it the same if I accidentally entered the wrong toggle when I was doing the material entry. So that's a common mistake to make, but in this particular case this is almost not relevant, but just in case you chose the wrong toggle, you would want to fill something in there. And in this case, since it's veneer, it probably would be something that's finished, and then you could type in your description of the product and an internal note. So that pretty much covers everything about the material database, and next up will be finishes.